Okay. So I'm going to make this as brief as I can. I'm making this video because I want to, I need to make a statement, I think, on the growing, exponentially growing number of people who are dying from heroin overdoses in the Madison area. People that I know, people that you know. Another good friend of mine just died last Friday in a CVS bathroom after shooting up some heroin. Somebody I've known my whole life, and I'm deeply saddened and shocked, really, as I'm sure a number of people are. But it's not enough, right? It's not enough to that we're shocked by this. Just last night there was a murder. The fifth murder this year, and I'm sure people are not shocked enough yet. But let me digress. I want to talk about this heroin situation because obviously it's a huge problem. It's a known problem. Uh, I would be remiss to say that that this is not an epidemic. However, I cannot take this anymore. Someone I know perishes from addiction on an average of every 6 weeks, whether it's a drug overdose, usually heroin, or a suicide. Right about every 6 weeks, I can almost count on finding out that somebody I know has lost their life. I can't ever seem to be able to. I'm not. I'm never done dealing with one death when I find out about another. I'm not saying this because I want pity. I'm just saying this because this is a fact. But what is the problem here, really? I mean, we can talk about like cartels, and we can talk about where heroin comes from. Is it coming from Chicago? Is it coming from Minneapolis, Detroit, whatever? I mean, I could sit here and explain all about how it's coming from Afghanistan and how we're all supporting a pharmaceutical industry that's keeping this whole country supplied with painkillers and sedatives like Percocet and OxyContin and oxycodone and Vicodin. But as long as we have those, it's okay. But I guess we'll just accept this whole heroin problem that's coming along with it. That's not the point. The point I want to make, I'll make that point, but I'm not making that point right now. The point I want to make now is let's think about what brings a person to put heroin in their body. Because I've done it. I did it for a long time. For 9.5 years, I put heroin in my body. And let's think about what that means, okay? Because to put heroin in your body, is basically saying, I don't care if this is my last moment alive, so be it. That's what that means. What could be going on in a person's world, in a person's head, that would bring them to a point where that is acceptable? Now, I know what was going on in my life. I've had an exceptionally challenging life. There have been things that I could have done that would have made it a little bit better. So I take some responsibility there. But, like, I mean, there are some things that are just sort of like circumstantial. But regardless, the things that were going on brought me to a point where, like, it just didn't matter. Like, the 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 the, the potential for death was like a welcomed like vacation almost, seemingly, uh, to the hell that I was living in. It's like, well, if I die, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's kind of how I thought about it. So I know why I did that. But let's talk about why so many people are now. So many. This isn't just like, oh, because it's there. You can't just say, oh, it's just because it's there. We have a real problem here. We have a real problem with why people are using these drugs. There's a huge elephant in the room. No one's addressing it. There is a sickness happening in this whole society, and it's got us so bad off that we are content with sending our children across the ocean to die so that we can cultivate poppies and bring morphine back here so that we can keep everybody just high enough to not get too riled up. We want everyone to just calm down, watch TV, eat their food, and pay their fucking bills. Well, we can't go on like this. We need to stop. We need to realize that we are not alone. We need to start communicating with each other again. Everybody is locked inside their own bubble, screaming for help. But it's all soundproof. No one can do it. No one can help you. Make that change now.